What does he bring to the table? Hedge fund stuff. What are those hedge fund guys good at? Making money for themselves, and they always win. They always win. But he's really good at sending jobs to China. I actually saw some video of him saying that he would like to live in Hong Kong. He'd like to live in Hong Kong and stay there. Well, once you lose Dave McCormick, that can be arranged. You got the money. What the hell? Go. You can do whatever you want. Why do we give these guys? They actually, here's where their ego gets out of control. They think they're worth the money. They actually think they deserve $75 million a year. Hey, there's one hedge fund guy who made $1 billion in 1 year. I don't like those guys. All right? I don't like them with their fleeces. I don't like them with their... I don't. Now, there are great Wall Street men, too. There are. We need these financiers, okay? And they are the most philanthropic people in the world. Some of them. A few of them. But not Dave. And not his Mrs. McCormick. What's her deal? Dina. And I'm sorry, why are you picking on his wife? Well, they just got married for one. 2 years ago. Both got divorced, and they found each other at the White House. But she's going around. She's a Goldman Sachs banker, and she's playing hardball left and right. She's threatening people. If you don't support my husband, you're in trouble with Goldman. Really bad stuff going on with her. And then McCormick actually has the bigotry to call into question Oz's patriotism. Can't seem to get over the fact that Oz's parents were from Turkey. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is being upset by that, is thinking that that's suspicious. That's wrong. And that takes us to Kathy Barnett. Now, who's Kathy Barnett? Literally nobody. Nobody knows anything about her. Nobody can find out anything about her. I know a few things about her. Number one, she's a pretend conservative. Now, quite frankly, her claim to fame is that she is a black woman conservative. But I saw some stuff today, and quite frankly, she didn't sound very conservative to me. Sounds like she wants to become the Black Lives Matter chapter president for Pittsburgh or wherever she lives in Pennsylvania. Can I hear a little bit of Kathy Barnett, candidate for the United States Senate in Pennsylvania, Republican side? Great big phony fraud. Don't fall for it, Pennsylvania. Don't fall for it. This is accurate. She said this stuff. Go ahead.
In broad daylight. It's just absolutely reprehensible. And in that moment, I felt an entire nation come to the aid.
All right, stop it for a second. She's talking about George Floyd and the protests that happened afterwards, right? And she wants to honor the life and legacy of George Floyd. This is during a congressional campaign that she loses by about 20 points. All right? And this is what she does. She's like one of those people who, I've seen them before. They got them on both sides of the aisle. Kathy Boyle. What's that crazy person's name? Lindsay Boyle? Boyle? She ran for Congress. She ran for Manhattan Borough President. She's going to run for president. She's going to run for everything. Number one, it's fun. Number two, it beats working. You get to just dabble in a bunch of stuff and get your picture in the paper. It's just stupid. It's so shallow and dumb. People in my life have been bringing up the subject of Broadway. It's time to go back to Broadway. I'm all for it and all. It's a big moneymaker for the city. It's great, and I want all those guys to have their jobs. I want the orchestra. I want the usher. I want the guy who sells the candy that's so expensive. I want everybody to be working, and I appreciate the arts, even though I don't engage with them very often. I'm talking about the performing arts. Walking in and watching them on stage. Hey, have you noticed nobody is going to the movies anymore? I got to say, the best play I've ever seen was worse, not as good as the worst movie I've ever seen. Know what I mean? I would take a movie over a play any day. I have no idea. 10 seconds in, I have no idea what they're talking about. I never have any idea what they're singing about. Forget it. There was only one musical I liked. Planet of the Apes, the musical. I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. No, you'll never make a monkey out of me. Let me think. Oh my God, I was wrong. It was Earth all along. Planet of the Apes, the musical. Now, I would see that. Oh, I would love to see that. I take it back. I did see The King and I once, and that was like a movie on stage. I couldn't believe it. That was like really good. Look, anyway, I want the Broadway community to thrive. I'm just not going to go and sit in your tiny seats, and I'm certainly not going to have Patti LuPone yell at me. So somebody goes to see her show. Hey, what show is she in anyway, Patti LuPone? Who cares? It's the company or company? Company. So I guess after the show is over, they stick around for Q&A because you just really want to ask these actors and actresses, tell me why you accepted this role. What is it about this character that really drew you in? Ever notice that all the questions are always the same? Any celebrity sits for an interview, it's always the same. And nobody cares about the stuff that they're asking. But anyway, so somebody is in the audience, and I guess she's not wearing a mask, Patti LuPone. She cannot wear a mask because she's Patti LuPone, and she's on stage. And she's sitting right next to a woman, by the way, fellow cast member in the show Company, whatever that is. But Patti LuPone spots a person in the audience whose mask is just below the nose, and she becomes irate. Go ahead.
Put your mask over your nose. That's why you're in the theater. That is the rule. If you don't want to follow the rule, get the Chris Harper pays my salary. Who do you think you are? Can we have a trans? Just put your mask over your nose. We have worked really hard.
Ma'am, whoever you are in the audience, I love you. You hear what she said? I pay your salary. I'm a patron. And she's like, that my producer pays my salary. Well, he'd have no show, the producer. He'd have one more failure on Broadway if it wasn't for that maskless woman, okay? Who wasn't even maskless. She just had it below her nose, like everybody, by the way. And Patti LuPone, guess what? These stupid diapers we're wearing over our face so you feel secure, they don't work. Only the N95 mask works. You want to wear one of those? Believe me, you don't. The asbestos removal guys, they wear those things. The rest of us are wearing these dopey little cloth things that don't work. Everybody knows it. It's a charade. And you know what's really offensive here also? The clapping from the audience. You go, Patty. You go. You tell her off. You know, celebrities, they really do have, latitude to do whatever the hell they, especially on the left. I mean, how many times did we see Alec Baldwin confront people in the street, say horrible things to them? I mean, horrible, vicious things. But he was to the left, so it was okay. And in the end, somebody got shot. Can I hear that one more time? All the people getting excited for Patti LuPone telling this person off, please. That's the worst part.
Put your mask over your nose. That's why you're in the theater. That is the rule.
That's
if
why?
If you don't want to follow the rule, get the Who do you think you are that you do not respect the people that are sitting around you?
Pay your salary.
You pay your salary. Chris Harper pays my salary. Who do you think you are? Can we have a trans? Just put your mask over your nose. We have worked really hard.
If you're a performer, you do have to be respectful of these folks. I know we're going to make mistakes. Some of us are klutzes. Some of us don't go to Broadway all the time. I remember this poor guy, he's watching the Philharmonic and his cell phone goes off. They damn near tried to cancel him, because Yo-Yo Ma or whatever, got interrupted. Everybody else is treated like a person, Everybody else is treated like a person. What do I mean by that? Some days are good, some days are not. People get in your face. This is New York. This is New York. And yeah, there's a little bit of give and take, but for Patti LuPone to use the F word on this person and the audience to applaud her as she's berating this very nice person, I'm sure. Give her a break. not wearing the mask over her nose. I told you I'm never wearing one of those dumb things again. Ever. Ever. What's the name of the show again? Companion? Company. Get me tickets to see Company. Get me the best seats you can. Front row. As soon as the curtain goes up, off comes my mask. I'll wear the mask just to get in, okay? It's like a military operation. And then whammo, it comes off. Yes, Patty LaPone. What? I can't hear you. F me? F you. How dare you? Oh, that would be fun. Oh, I can't wait. Is Broadway open tonight? Yeah, Wednesday. They take one night a week off. I'll say this for the Broadway crew. They work their asses off. 2 shows a night. I think it's 6 days a week or something like that. They get Mondays off. Imagine that, having Monday off. Big deal. Monday. Party down, it's Monday. I used to have Monday and Tuesday off. The good thing about having Monday off was you had a, what do you call it? You didn't get the Sunday night blues. Although, quite frankly, I never get the Sunday night blues anymore. Mostly because, quite frankly, I've been working on my relationship with God. And when you get things right with him, and I'm always working on them, I really am, but you realize that all those, I used to see a psychiatrist. I used to see him all the time, this, that, and the other thing. And once I finally got into the Word of God, no disrespect to the psychologists and the psychiatrists out there, but you got nothing on God. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just that he can straighten you out more than anybody else. And speaking of God and getting things straightened out, I think that Joe Biden, you should reevaluate your life and get on your knees and, quite frankly, pray for forgiveness. I'm serious. You have some big dime issues, and you're in complete denial about everything, it seems to me. Lying becomes so easy, has been so easy your entire life. That's how we got to know you. That's how we first got to know you. What did Maya Angelou say? Never forget who someone tells you they are. Something along those lines. Cut 54, please.
I know the families all across America are hurting because of inflation. I understand what it feels like. I come from a family where when the price of gas or food went up, we felt it. It was a discussion at the kitchen table.
Big fat lie, by the way. Hey, Joe Biden was no blue-collar kid. He always pushes that lie because he thinks it plays well in the sticks. Folks, in Garden City, by the way, and I'm about to take a phone call regarding Garden City in a moment, but Garden City, Long Island, a very affluent town. Guess who lived there for a while? Joe Biden. Oh, yeah, Joe Biden lived there. Hey, guess who had a new car for every date with a girl in high school? Joe Biden. Why? Because his father ran the dealership. Joe Biden was a big boy in Wilmington. I mean, a big man. And, that's a lot of fake news about his heart and his luck. He always tells the story, and it's a BS story. When he was 6 years old, his father lost his job. And the first thing the father does is go upstairs to tell little Joey about it. Now, I have kids, and I got to tell you, that's just not the first person you're going to, especially if they're 6, right? No, you're not going to go. And he's been cashing in on this ever since. All right, we got that. Hey, just remember this. If you're good enough, if you're skilled enough to get on some government website and apply for a program, you're probably good enough and skilled enough to not need the program to begin with. Now, Joe's latest, silliest idea is free internet for basically everybody who makes under, $50,000 a year? So you can watch Netflix without any problem. Is that what we really need? There's a digital divide, not like the way you think. The smart people are getting offline, are turning off their phones and walking away. The dumb people, and I'm sorry, too often, not always, but plenty of times, poor people are going all in digitally and getting hooked on these stupid, depraved apps. Gosh, can you imagine? When did you actually have to walk up to a person, strike up a conversation, show some human decency, show some smarts, show some dexterity mentally? I'm talking about hitting on somebody, by the way, at a bar or anywhere else. You had to do it in person. Now you meet on an app. And after about 3 seconds of politeness, you want to know, what are you down for? You down for this? You down for that? You up for this? You up for that? How do you like this? I like that too. All right, let me see a picture. Yeah. Oh, all right. Take a look at this picture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. Where are you? Okay. Well, they're not all like that. A lot of people say, I'm not here for that. I'm here to meet somebody. That's the way you have to do it these days. All right, where the hell was I going with this? Wait, I had something to say. Steve Portnoy, questions. Well, do me a favor, play this. It's about Joe Biden's dad, and it's another thing where I don't believe him. Cut 63.
I'll never forget getting knocked out when I was in 5th grade, and my dad walking out and said, "Get up, get up, get up. Unless something's broken, get up." Well, I think that's what sports tell you. You just get up. You get up. But my dad would say, every time you get knocked down, just get up, Joey. Get up. My dad said just one thing. When you get knocked down, get up. Just get up. Get up.
Get up. Get up. It's not inspiring somehow. Somehow, once again, I don't believe you, Joe. Give me a moment.
This is the Greg Kelly Show.
Got to go through this. It's fascinating to me. One more time. And I know a lot of folks, maybe you're not a political junkie, but it's important. You want to take this country back. You want to take it back from the woke left. You got to start doing it one race at a time. And you want Donald Trump to be enhanced and not diminished. Well, he endorsed Dr. Oz. You're going to go undermine Donald Trump? You're going to second guess Donald Trump? You're going to be like the fake news and give him a hard time? You want to give them more ammunition to go around saying, "Oh, Donald Trump is losing his political mojo." If you elect somebody like Kathy Barnett, you want that to happen? That's what they want. The left wants. Oh boy, do they want that. They'd love it. They'd love it. It'd be win, 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 win for them. Number one, Kathy Barnett will go down in flames to Fetterman in November. Absolutely, positively, absolutely no doubt about it. Because unlike the fake news now, who's helping her and not vetting her, hands-off approach for a lot of reasons. One of them, by the way, is the Eric Adams matter. A lot of reporters, if they happen to be white, feel very, very uncomfortable questioning people who, as they say, don't look like them. Yeah, that's in a weird way racist in and of itself. Everybody. You got to treat everybody the same. They vetted Dr. Oz. They vetted McCormick. They vetted Bartos. They vetted all these guys, talking to their high school teachers, looking for dirt, except Kathy Barnett. Kathy Barnett running for the Republican nomination in the United States for the United States Senate over there in Pennsylvania. And give me a moment. I saw something. This is from the Washington Examiner. Have you noticed the Examiner? It's actually very good. Great stuff in there. All right, so let me go through it. It starts a kind of a boring conversation about the gubernatorial candidate you never heard of. So let me. Oh shoot! There comes an ad, a pop-up ad. Here we go. Trump and the Club for Growth. Okay, here we go. The question is, who is Kathy Barnett, and why is the Club for Growth supporting her? Actually, we already know why the Club for Growth is supporting her. Yeah, they got some sort of beef with Trump, and they're all up in arms, but forget them for a moment. But who is she? The answers are not simple. I'm reading from the Washington Examiner. Very interesting piece by Selena Zito. Sorry about that. The question is, who is Barnett? A series of questions asked both verbally and in text message with her campaign manager about her background for a story that was supposed to be a profile went unanswered with the exception of one, but that was too vague. When asked about her military service, the answer was, Kathy noted basic training was Fort Dix, Army Reserves. Traditionally, in interviews with other military veterans, the first piece of information that is supplied to a reporter is a copy of the candidate's DD-214 form, a standard form issued when one retires or separates from the military. The other questions for her were no different or pressing when I questioned Dr. Oz in our interview on the road in Greensburg months ago for an expansive profile piece in the Washington Examiner magazine, an interview that required 2 follow-up phone calls to get all the details. Now, were they any more pressing than what I asked McCormick in interviews for a profile I did of him over the past few months? They were not. Nor, oh gosh, it keeps on popping up with these silly ads and stuff like that. Give me a second. Okay. Nor were they any more pressing than the interviews done with Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman or State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, both of whom are seeking the primary nomination for the Democrats. Barnett, in her bio on her webpage, says, appearing regularly on national TV and radio, Kathy Barnett is a veteran, former adjunct professor of corporate finance, sought-after conference speaker, and conservative political commentator. Next up, Kathy is taking on Washington, D.C. and is running for the U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania. The bio also reads, Kathy served her country proudly for 10 years in the Armed Forces Reserves, where she was accepted into officer candidacy school. She worked for 2 major financial firms in corporate America and sat on the board of a pregnancy crisis center for 5 years. This is remarkably thin stuff. The questions to the campaign, which said it doubted whether she would have time for an interview because she was booked for interviews continuously until Election Day, were pretty straightforward and simple. Number 1, the name of her hometown. Number 2, where was she an adjunct professor and when? 3, when was she in officer candidate school? 4, what financial institutions did she work for and when? When did she move to Virginia to Pennsylvania? From Virginia to Pennsylvania. She says in her book bio from 2018 that she lived in Virginia. So what year did she move to Pennsylvania? And a confirmation that the college she graduated from was Troy State University. The reply from the campaign manager noted, Kathy keeps her early life as private as possible, as I am sure you can understand why. Hello? Now, the writer says this, a reference one could surmise was to her life story, which she told compellingly in an ad this past week, and that she was the child of rape. Okay. She could be hiding nothing. She could be hiding everything. We don't know because there are no answers. While people hold a strong distaste for the press, many level-headed conservatives who really want to win this seat in November want to know as much as possible about each candidate. While voters may have been turned off by the battle for the primary between Oz and McCormick, the truth is both of these men have faced incredible scrutiny by both the press and their opposing campaigns. Voters, at least, have access to just about any information they want about them by scrolling through the countless stories that have been done about both of them. Barnett has benefited from several things, little scrutiny, and the rock'em sock'em nature of the battle between Oz and McCormick that has been escalated by the proxy war between Trump and the Club for Growth. Her attachment to Mastriano, some guy who's running for governor, she even promoted a QAnon event, apparently. Okay. Let me continue. Youngstown State. I'm reading about Kathy Barnett, who's actually doing somewhat well in the polls right now. Folks, you don't know a damn thing about her. Nobody does. She is a dangerous candidate. We can't trust her. All right? She just lamented that she wasn't in Minneapolis when George Floyd died. She would have been marching with everybody. Youngstown State University political science professor Paul Skrajcic says Barnett has also taken better advantage of Justice Alito's draft opinion than her opponents. This abortion thing put her front and center. The problem is her resume, it is very thin to say the least. What do we have on our hands? Another Obama? Right? Came out of nowhere? But by the way, at least some of his story checked out. Hers doesn't. Don't forget. We're almost out of time. Let's see here. Who's been on hold the longest? There are 2. I'm going to try to get to you both. Pat in Matawan.
Hi there, Greg. Good afternoon. And please, I want to say thank you for making it real. I'd like to discuss Pinocchio. All these stories that we've been told, these lies, these fabrications, we only have people like you who can bring the truth to light. And I want to thank you for that.
I'm trying, Pat. I am trying. It's funny. It's all around us. I don't know why so many people are reluctant. Are reluctant to go there. And again, they were horrified by President Trump. They should have studied him and learned from him. You know what I mean? I think I was inspired by him. I could have been one of the sheep and been horrified. Oh my God, I can't believe he said this. Shut up and listen. We'll never, ever, ever have anything like this again. Learn as much as you can. Hey, thank you, Pat, very, very much. I got Sandra in New Jersey. Hi, Sandra.
Oh, wow. I finally got to talk to you. Do you remember me? My mom, Dee from Brooklyn, and Mark Simone, and my mother passed away.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, of course. Sandra and your mom, B, and your brother, Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, you're the best.
I talk to Mark Simone very often because he has a schedule with you. I went through 10 songs on my piano, which thank God I could do that while I'm listening to the news. And I finally...
Well, I'll be looking for you from now on, Sandra. I know who you are. I know about B, and she was a great person, so we'll be looking for you. So what's up? Oh, the music is going on, so say something nice.
Oh, no. I listened to Laura Ingraham last night, and I was brokenhearted. She had on Kathy Barnett, and she was promoting her and saying negative stuff about Dr. Oz.
I know. Look, she was conned. She's been conned by Kathy Barnett. Folks in Pennsylvania, don't fall for the con. Sandra, thank you. Keep in touch. My best to your brother, and may B rest in peace. A wonderful woman. See you tomorrow.